Hello, college students. So, in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to teach you how to eat in the best way possible using your meal points, which may seem like an oxymoron, but believe me, after research and taste testing on my part, it's not. Alright, there are many food staples that we think of being associated with college. You have ramen, frozen burritos, candy bars, soup, cereal, anything that's easy and fast. And to facilitate this, IU has these little things called C-stores that we've all experienced that are full of these little processed goodies that can get us in and out the door and back to our studies, or whatever else it is we're doing, fast as we want. And in the C-store, it's almost like a trap. They have candy bars, they have, junky cereals like Lucky Charms and these full packets of ramen noodles that you could easily just snag and buy. But buried within the C-stores, there are good things to eat. And I'm going to show you that. First of all, cereal. All right, you have your Lucky Charms, you have your Cheerios, you have all these other options, but the best thing that you can go for under any circumstances is organic. Now, this is Cascadian Farms Organic, and as we've learned in the comparative lit class, Cascadian Farms Organic is not necessarily the best organic option, but it's better for you and better for the environment than Lucky Charms or Cheerios or some other food is. Now, if you look at the ingredients list, it has a shorter ingredients list. There's not as many chemicals in it, and it's a simpler cereal overall. So better for you, better for the environment. Even if it's not the best organic you can get, it's as good as you're going to get in the C-store. All right, next comes frozen burrito. Frozen burritos are delicious. They're the food of the gods. I love them. But they're pretty bad for you, especially if you buy the gas station brand. And I found that the dorms carry this line called Amy's, which is actually a pretty good organic brand of food. And they make these burritos, such as this one, the Burrito Especial, which I've tasted all this food, by the way. And this is delicious. I love these things, and while it's a processed food, which is kind of what we want to stay away from, if you're going to eat a burrito, this is the burrito you want to go for. So go for the kind that has organics, that's farmed naturally and sustainably, if possible. All right, next comes ramen, and here's where we're going to have to make a compromise. I couldn't really find a great alternative to ramen if you really want that kind of noodly, salty goodness that's in it. But I did find a somewhat better compromise. Now, this isn't farmed naturally. It's actually imported, it's not locally grown, it's processed within an inch of its life, much like ramen. However, comparing the ingredients list, now it's a similar product, it's kind of a Thai noodle soup thing, I've had it, it's actually really good. Comparing the ingredients, it has less of the bad stuff that ramen has, like the sodium and like all of the weird additives, and it just has kind of a simpler makeup. So if you're going for ramen, try looking for things that are like it, but are not ramen, because ramen is just the worst way to go. All right, for soups, now this is again with the Amy's line, because I guess our C-stores have a love affair with Amy's, but I found a lot of organic soups that Amy's makes. Now, here's one that I like called No Chicken Noodle, and as a vegetarian, it's delicious. I've tried it. It tastes like chicken noodle soup. It'll get you through your sick day like none other. And they also have minestrone. Go for those kind of soups rather than the Campbell's drink out of a cup soups, because God knows if you look at the ingredients list, it's not pretty. Now, for those of you who are like me, I have an extreme sweet tooth, and in the C-stores, they have candy bars right and left and all these horrible for you, like sweet things that you can get that admittedly are delicious and that I would eat all the time if I could, but I know are horrible for me and are processed and horrible for the environment. So I found a few alternatives. Now, here's a Clif Bar. And a lot of people eat these, but they aren't aware of what's going on in them. Clif Bars are actually organic and sustainable. So if you have that craving for a candy bar or for some other type of candy or sweetness, go for the Clif Bar. I prefer the crunchy peanut butter, but they have all these different kinds of flavors, and they're basically like little candy bars. So that's your best option there. And if you're craving something like gumdrops or like the really bad for you orange slices that you find at the gas station that I'm kind of addicted to, I found a somewhat better alternative. And here's another compromise I have to make. But these, it's not mentioned anywhere that they're natural or organic in any form, but they're little dried sugared pineapple slices, and the only ingredients are pineapple and sugar. That's the only ingredient. And they're delicious, and they fulfill my sugar craving in the same way that those orange slices from the gas station would, but they're somewhat better for me. I mean, they don't really have any nutrients, but they don't have all added chemicals. Now, you want to supply all these processed foods with some fresh foods. And although the IU Office of Sustainability website suggests that students in dorms grow their own food on their windowsill, I mean, this is how that turned out for me. Like, it's not a pretty situation. So, if you're looking for fresh fruits and vegetables, you can go to the salad bars in the food courts, which maybe aren't organic, but do have the kind of fresh, unprocessed foods that you want to put inside you. And also in the C-stores, you can find baskets of fruit that will say that they are from local farmers. And this is the best thing you can do, is buy anything local, because you don't want your apple to have traveled thousands of miles just to get on your plate and your mouth. So buy local. I don't know why they wrap itself in. That's kind of taking away from the environmental effect, but whatever. And when you are eating in the food courts, the best thing you can do is stay away from all those really processed foods. If you want chicken, maybe your best option is not to go to Charlie Biggs Chicken Company and get yourself a huge platter of fried chicken that's been chemically processed and frozen and deep fried and God knows what. If you want chicken, go for the chicken on the salad bar, or go to the traditional dining and get like a chicken breast or something. There's only so much you can do with dorm food, but if we continue to make our voice heard through our choices of food, then IU will start listening to us and will start giving us more of what we want, more of these organic options, more of these things that are better for us, and less of these things that are bad for us. And it's okay if you slip up and have a pizza or a Twinkie or something like that every so often, because we're in college. It happens. But it's our responsibility as consumers for this generation to make our food future sustainable and the best it can be. So I'll just leave you with that, and happy eating!